26. I'm Marlaina Scarbrough, and today we're in Omena speaking with the Executive Director of Saving Birds Through Habitat, Kate Charter. Kate, can you start off by telling us the background on Saving Birds Through Habitat?
Sure. About 20 odd years ago, my husband and I sold our property on Grand Traverse Bay. And we knew that birds were declining and we were concerned about them. So we came inland and bought 47 acres right here, this beautiful 47 acres, for a bird safe haven for migrants especially, those birds that come up from the tropics to nest up here. And about 10 years later, events progressed. I did some writing for the local paper and for other publications. We had people come out here to learn about how they can help birds that are declining. And it happened that we established this nonprofit. And when we did, we donated 2.5 acres of our property for a home for the organization. So this is a 501c3, it's a nonprofit.
And that's really great. I mean, you're really dedicated towards, helping the birds and giving them a safe place. Now, you mentioned that the birds that mostly come up here are from the tropics.
A lot of them are, not all of them, but a lot of them are.
So maybe not all like the birds that are in Michigan that we think are in Michigan. There are some that migrate towards here, right?
In the summertime on this property, there are more birds that come up from the tropics than there are resident birds, yes.
Okay. And then in the winter, they just kind of go back home where it's warm?
They go back, not necessarily where it's warm, they go back where the food supply is greater.
Okay.
Fundamentally, they need seeds. Fundamentally, they need insects. And some of them also live on fruit, but you don't have any of that up here in the wintertime. You don't have many insects, there are few, and you certainly don't have fruit left much, and so they go to the tropics where the food supplies are plentiful for them.
Okay, so how did you become so knowledgeable in all this bird stuff?
I fell in love with birds, and when I realized they were declining, I couldn't stand it. I just couldn't bear the loss. And so I just tried to figure out ways to educate people on what they could do about that. And one of the most important things any of us can do is read Doug Tallamy's book, Bringing Nature Home, which makes the connection between abundant insect population and healthy bird populations. And those insects really live on native plants. So that's the key.
So what are some things that people, our viewers can know right now on what they can maybe do to help the birds?
What people can do right now, they can start planting native plants in their yards. They can replace their non-native horticultural daffodils and lilies with things like goldenrod, which does not, by the way, cause hay fever, and black-eyed Susans and horsemint, all the native flowers. And you can also incorporate native trees. Oaks are really important for the production of caterpillars.
Okay.
Oaks and native cherries and willows. You can do all of that.
Okay, well that's really good. And that's, good for everybody to know that they can actually help with the insects and with the birds.
Yes.
And by just planting native plants that are natural to Michigan.
Yes, that's right.
So how can people get involved? Can they volunteer? Can they donate? What can they do to help Saving Birds Through Habitat?
Well, they can do all of that. They can start in their own properties by improving it for the birds. And they can also, nonprofits live on volunteer help. And donating is essential to keep the organization going. And they can do that by going on our website. They can contact me by going on our website and emailing our colleague.
Now, your website is savingbirdsthroughhabitat.org.
It's savingbirds.org.
Okay, savingbirds.org.
Savingbirds.org. Really easy to remember.
All right, well, thank you so much for telling us all this wonderful information.
Well, thank you.
In Omena, at Saving Birds Through Habitat, I'm Marlaina Scarbrough with My News 26.